Good evening and salutations, my Days of Alliance fans. Yeah, I know I put a post up saying that I was just going to be doing a live stream talking about it. And, well, the reason why I did that is because by the time I finished doing everything, I felt like I was going to have just enough time to watch the episode and then just talk about it live stream. But since I've actually, got done early, I figured I'd, give my opinions and do a review on it anyway. So, well, this is going to be posted after I do my live stream, so hopefully people will actually watch. But if you didn't watch, just my thoughts on the episode. I liked it. I liked the episode. This is if you watch live stream, then you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch live stream, I heard on JLJ Media that this show is going to be moving to Peacock streaming service paid subscription on September 12th, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. Sometime in September. And this is, I am still thinking about it. But I want to sit there and talk about this episode and just kind of save my thoughts for the live stream. So, as far as this episode, after Evans tells Orpheus that, he's going to be leaving Salem, going to New Zealand to be with his sister. They kind of worked out something where he's not going to, try to fight her in custody, but he wants to get to know his son and, take Maddox. Now he's calling, the child Maddox to kind of meet his brother and everything like that. So he has a court order to go get, his child. Meanwhile, you got Sean calling over Bella to sit there and try to see if she can fight this. And I'm like, what are you going to fight? Like, even when she gets there, she's like, he has a DNA test. Like, what are you going to sit there and fight? Like, you can't fight this. He got pardoned. So anything that he did before, it doesn't count. It's kind of screwed up, but it doesn't count. So there's really nothing that she can do. Evans come over there and he's like, yo, listen, I want my child now. Now, it was kind of a hard thing to watch a little bit. And I felt like both of them could have did a better job as far as being a little bit more mature and adult about the situation. Instead of Evans being like, oh no, I want my child now. And, I felt like maybe if Sean would have showed a little, humility, I guess, and be like, hey, listen, I know that you're going to be taking him. Can I just get a couple minutes to say something to him before, I hand him over to you? But it's like he wanted to sit there and fight Evans, and it was like there was nothing you can really do. And you're pushing the guy. You know how he is, and you know that Bella can't do anything. So, he picks up the child. He says a couple of things, and Evans is like practically damn near ready just to rip him out of his arms. So he does that, and he leaves. Sean's upset. He starts lashing out at Bella, talking about, oh, you wanted this to happen, and yada, yada, yada. He apologizes later on, but I'm going to be honest. I felt like in some ways that Bella, on some level, was probably thankful that Sean was not, that child was not Sean's. On some level, she must have been a little happy about that. So you got that thing going on. I mean, there's that. And at this point, Evans is ready to take the boat and, head off to New Zealand. And he gets stopped by Jan Spears, and Jan tells him, how she survived, and, I guess she was, like, laying low on some sort of, like, boat or whatever. And she peeked, and she saw them. 1 second. It's like I have the volume on 3, and somehow it's still loud. Anyway, so she tells a story about how she, survived, and she got past the Coast Guard and everything like that. And, she's like, oh, I want to sit there and hold the baby because the baby starts crying. She's all like, I'm leaking. I'm like, okay, A little TMI, but okay, sure, whatever. So Evan's like, all right, fine, you can hold him for a second. The minute that she gets that child, she practically is like psych and kicks him into the water. And she takes the baby and she's leaving Salem, but she's like, oh, I'll return one day, you know. So yeah, she kicks him in the ocean or the water or whatever, and she's all like, I'll return. He's, they call on Jan Spears, every time they need something to be spiced up a little bit. Um, so you got EJ coming over. EJ came to Ava's place, Jake's old place, and was like, hey, let me sit there and call your bluff or whatever. So he's trying to get in touch with somebody that works at, the clerk's office or whatever. Meanwhile, Gabby is, I guess, got one of her, not, I was going to say interns, but one of her assistants to go down there to do some illegal ish. Okay, let's just be honest. That's literally what she's doing. But anyway, long story short, she was able to get it done last second, but she was able to get it done. And now EJ is changing his tune. He's all like, "Oh well, I just want to apologize, and I didn't treat my brother really well, but you can sit there and come over here." Because Ava's like, "Hey, so about those shares, can I get a little advance on that? To pay the rent for this month. Could that happen?" And EJ starts being all apologetic and sympathizing, and even hugging her, talking about, "Oh, you can move in with me," and yada yada yada. So for a brief second, I was like, this dude is really trying to play her. It should be obvious that she should be like, yo, kick rocks. But she plays right into it. And honestly, to tell you, for a good couple of seconds, for a good couple of minutes, she had me fooled. She genuinely had me fooled. But when they hugged, you can see the expressions on both their faces. And later on, Gabby calls her up, and they was like, yeah, listen, you have for me to move in, and I'm saying yes. Now, I don't know how is this going to work out for Ava. I I really don't. But to be fair, it's not. I mean, I guess Gabby could sit there and flip the bill for a little bit. She had to sit there and stay in one of the motels or whatever. But I don't really understand Ava's plan personally. I really don't get it. And it's not like EJ, but I know he didn't get along with his brother. But damn, I'm like, you know, backstabbing and things of that nature. I remember, when he voted him, he got him voted out. He was like, oh, listen, that's just part of, the things that we do as family, whatever. It's like an initiation thing. And I felt like that was kind of like that. Yeah, he kicked him out of the company. But that is kind of what they do. And, in-house fighting is what they do. So I don't think he had anything personally against him, except for he didn't have anything personally against him. He just felt like he was better than him because, he came from an upper class family and things of that nature. But I don't know, I guess to not show any sort of emotion, like not even a drop of sadness. Not like, oh man, I mean, I messed around with him and whatever, but I didn't think that was gonna happen. How Kristen showed more emotion than he did. So that just kind of unsettles me. So Kristen has a bunch of questions to sit there and ask, like, how did you keep, Rob, a lot of questions like, how did you keep Stefan alive? Like, how is this all possible? And long story short, Roth is just like the machines pretty much kind of, you know, they kept him alive. He didn't really have to do anything. As long as they have power, they were good. Oh, when the whole blackout thing happened, I guess it must have been running on backup power. So the main thing was Steph needed a heart, which is what I said yesterday about spare parts. I don't understand why it took this long to sit there and draw this whole thing out, but I get it. It's a soap opera. They gotta kind of finesse the minutes or whatever that they use. They can stretch it out as long as they can. So yeah, they're gonna sit there and take They're gonna sit there and take Jake's heart. and put it in Stefan's body, and that's gonna be it. Because Stefan's heart went to Julie, so yeah. Just double check my notes. I think that's about it. I think that's about it. But we're going to be talking more about this whole days being on the streaming service exclusively between tonight's live stream, Sunday at 6, unless things change. I'm going to be Smith talking about. That's going to be one of the topics that I'm going to be Smith talking about. And, probably throughout the week, because, again, I didn't know about this until one of my amazing subscribers, told me about it. But I also found it out through JOJ Media. So this is going to be crazy. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see everyone in the next video.